Chances are you don't think about a flight cancellation until your flight gets canceled. Maybe you were one of them, because yesterday marked an all-time high for cancellations in a single day. More than 2,500 flights were canceled in our area airports, and there were more than 8,000 delays. That's one day.
And that's just without the weather.
And that, right, exactly.
What's a traveler to do? Are they entitled to refunds? Are airlines required to rebook? And if so, is there a charge? Madison, Blancaflor from the Points Guy has answers. Welcome, Madison. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me.
I can make a living off of the amount of times that they've offered me money not to fly.
Really?
And I'm like, ugh, and they just keep going up and up and up. It's a whole strategy. It's like it's become like a business at this point. It's very strange.
Yeah. Well, you know, airlines will, because they know people will cancel last minute or there will be no-shows, they'll actually overbook the flight.
Yep.
And so if everyone shows up for their flight, because you know everyone needs a vacation, everybody wants to fly, they'll end up actually offering money for you to not.
Okay, that part. However, this week has been particularly painful with flight cancellations. What is the skinny? What's going on?
So a few different things are going on. Obviously, we've got bad weather in the New York area. Last night, there was actually a system-wide IT outage for American Airlines, which caused a lot of cancellations. And then we've got chronic shortages for air traffic control and other airport staffing. So all of those things end up
It's a recipe for
major disaster. And I'm married to a meteorologist, so when there's not weather, she's like, it's not weather. They say it's weather.
Right,
it ain't weather.
That's right. He's got the inside. He's got the inside scoop.
So your flight is canceled. What are you entitled to? What can you do?
Yeah, so unfortunately, the new DOT rules that were rolled out during the Biden administration have actually been rolled back, as of 2025. So you're no longer entitled to compensation unless you decide not to take the rebooked flight or you decide not to take any compensation from the airline. So if you end up, booking another flight, and usually the airlines will try to rebook you on the next available flight, unfortunately, you're not entitled to refund. But if you are really delayed, they cancel it, and you're like, I'm not going, I'm staying home. Then that's whenever you can get a full refund for your flight.
Oof. Okay, read the fine print. What if you are bumped from your flight?
Yeah, so if you are involuntarily bumped from your flight, you are entitled to compensation based on how long you're delayed to your next destination. Oh. Yeah, so if you are delayed, let's say you get rebooked on a flight because you're, involuntarily bumped, and you are like an hour delayed, you'll get a certain amount of compensation, like 2x the amount of your one-way value of your flight. And if you are more than 2 hours delayed, that actually goes up to 4 times the amount.
Huh.
Yeah.
I still want to get to point B, like lickety-split.
I would just stay home. I'm a man who carries on. I never check a bag ever.
Same.
But if you do, and they lose your bags or the bags are delayed, is the airline on the hook for that?
Yes, so the airline is liable up to a certain amount if you are, if they lose your bag or it's like severely delayed for domestic flights. It's different than for international flights under like the Montreal Convention. It's like a different amount of compensation that you get, but you are able to get the amount of, like, if you have to buy things because you're delayed, or the value of what's in your bag if it's lost.
Oof. Okay, what about travel insurance? I always look at that box and I'm like, do I need it? What is it worth it? And if so, what does it cover?
Yeah, so it really depends on kind of what your trip is. There's like a calculus involved to if you really need travel insurance. If you book with the credit card, a lot of times you'll get some basic travel coverage through your credit card. But if you're taking a really big trip, you're going to Europe, a big vacation, you're going to be gone for a while, booking or signing up for cancel for any reason insurance through a third party is actually a really great option.
All right, so someone feels their actual rights were violated and the airline isn't responding. What can you do? What's the move there?
Yeah, so you can file a report via the DOT website. You can just transportation.gov. So you can do that, and they will levy a fine, and kind of help on your behalf. But last-ditch effort, if you have tried to work it out with the airline, or your rental car company, the hotel, and you're just not getting anywhere, dispute the charge with your credit card.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an easy process. I literally did it last week.
I've done it many times.
Yeah, I did it last week, got my money back.
Here.
Yeah, easy.
Madison, wealth of information.
I have a Case Logic I lost in 1996 that I'm still missing.
That and his
all
Palm
my
Pilot.
CDs.
Please come back, because
Thank
sadly
you.
I don't think these issues are going to go away
Right.
anytime soon. For more travel tips, do follow the Points Guy on Instagram.